The ferocious and terrifying form of the Dark Mother is known across every realm of existence. When she rises in wrath, her roar alone is enough to shake the horizons and fracture the balance of worlds. Ancient belief holds that when she manifests her most dreadful aspect, even the Lord of the cosmic void himself remains cautious, for her fury is beyond restraint, and opposite her stands another force born of the same primal essence, a storm-spawned warrior, son of the Wind Titan, whose boundless strength, unmatched valor, and absolute devotion have no limit. When his battle cry echoes and his celestial weapon spins through the air, the very world trembles. Now imagine, when these two supreme forces stand face to face, what fate befalls creation itself. Such a dark and mysterious event unfolded in the sacred city guarded by the Lord of Time. One night, near the banks of a shadowed river flowing beside an ancient fortress temple of the Dark Mother, the ground began to quake violently. It felt as though the first sign of annihilation had arrived. The Dark Mother, seated within her sanctum, sensed it immediately. A presence, overwhelming, divine, and utterly extraordinary, had crossed into her dominion. Her eyes ignited with fury as she rose in her most fearsome form, her voice thundering across the night. "Who dares enter my realm without consent? Tonight their destruction is assured." Yet, this was no demon, no giant, no spawn of chaos. It was the Windborn champion himself. When no figure appeared before her, despite her summons, her rage intensified. Determined to uncover this audacious force, she stepped beyond her temple. But the warrior's arrival was no accident. After a great war across the seas, the exiled King of Light had begun his return journey with his queen and brother. On their path, they reached this city, wishing to honor the Lord of Time who dwelled there. Night fell, and the royal party rested within a humble shelter near the river. Ever vigilant, the Windborn warrior stood guard outside. Soon, he sensed an immense power approaching. Instantly alert, he moved toward it. At the same moment, the Dark Mother realized that the King of Light himself had entered her territory. Overjoyed, she rushed to behold him, but suddenly her path was blocked. As though by an unyielding wall, the Windborn warrior stood before her. The Dark Mother's expression darkened. Taking on her most terrifying visage, she thundered, "Step aside, beast, or face consequences beyond imagination." Calm, yet resolute, the warrior replied, "I fear no outcome. I serve only my lord. First tell me, who are you, and why does rage consume you so?" The goddess answered coldly, "I am the sovereign of this realm. I go to greet the King of Light." Hearing this, the warrior bowed respectfully and said, "Great Mother, my lord rests. I cannot wake him. At dawn, you may see him." Her fury exploded. "I bow to no command. Move, or be erased." And in that instant, a battle erupted that shook the heavens, the underworld, and the mortal plane alike. The Dark Mother raised her obsidian blade and struck with lightning speed. The warrior countered, swinging his colossal weapon with divine force. When blade and mace collided, an explosion tore through the sky like the birth of oblivion. Enraged that her strike was thwarted, the Dark Mother's eyes burned brighter. She summoned a radiant bow and notched a dreadful emerald arrow. Releasing it, the projectile split mid-air into countless venomous serpents that surged toward the warrior, like heralds of death. For the first time, the Windborn hero grew solemn. Gripping his weapon with both hands, he struck the ground while invoking ancient power. Instantly, his weapon transformed into countless golden sky eagles that tore through the serpents, obliterating them in moments. Seeing this, the Dark Mother laughed, a deep, knowing laugh that confused the warrior. He tore a massive tree from the earth and hurled it at her with crushing force. With a single slash, he shattered it into fragments, laughing even louder. The warrior could not understand her mirth. In truth, this entire conflict was her design. The fortress temple was no ordinary sanctuary. It marked the place where the Eternal Mother's essence once fell, making it a nexus of immense power and meditation. Yet dark entities repeatedly disturbed her focus. She sought a guardian worthy enough that no force of chaos would dare approach. To test the warrior's strength, intellect, and devotion, She orchestrated this terrible clash, but the warrior remained unaware. Mistaking her laughter for mockery, his patience broke. He expanded into a colossal form, unleashing a roar that shook the realms. The Dark Mother answered with a roar of her own. The skies convulsed, the earth cracked, and the gods watched in terror. She unleashed countless divine weapons. In response, the warrior assumed his many-faced battle form, countering every assault. Still, it was all her divine play. Suddenly, her true wrath awakened. She began the dance of endings and summoned the unerring trident. The cosmos darkened. Storm screamed. She revealed her infinite form, filling all directions. There was nothing but her. The warrior understood at once. If the trident fell, creation would end. Instantly, he shrank to a tiny form and fell at her feet, hands folded, voice trembling. "Great Mother, forgive me if I have erred. I acted only in service to my lord." Her fury lingered. Desperate, he cried again, "If a child stumbles, is it not a mother's nature to forgive?" At last, her wrath dissolved. Her fearsome form softened into compassion. The trident vanished. Peace returned. She spoke gently. "This was no battle. It was your trial. You have proven yourself worthy to guard my city." She revealed the sanctuary's secret and asked him to anchor one of his divine forms there as protector while she meditated. He accepted with joy. Thus, the Windborn Guardian's presence remains in that city to this day. At dawn, the King of Light emerged, honored the Dark Mother and the Lord of Time, and departed. Only the all-seeing king, his queen, and the Dark Mother knew the truth of that night. The world remained unaware of the divine trial that nearly ended creation.